Welcome to another monthly portfolio update. We will be going through the companies I bought, including a new position to the portfolio, dividends received, portfolio value, and holdings. Before jumping into the content, I want to give a shout out to everyone who subscribed and supported my last video. Right now, I am only 15 subscribers away from reaching 1,000. So if you are new and would like to follow a dividend investor showing his investing journey and progress in full transparency, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. In the month of February, I bought only 4 companies: 0.73 shares of Hershey's, 0.93 shares of Realty Income, 0.94 shares of Visa, and 0.33 shares of a new position, Mastercard. Part of my 2024 goals is to high grade my portfolio by investing in high quality businesses, and I believe Visa and Mastercard are a good fit for this. This is a quick infographic I made to showcase the dominance of these two giants. Over the last decade, the revenue, net income, adjusted free cash flow, and earnings per share has increased by more than 10%. This is huge numbers for companies as big as Visa and Mastercard, whereas they both have almost a $500 billion market cap separately. Now, we all know both companies have a growing dividend, but they also do share buyback, which is a way of returning value back to the shareholders. This is done by reducing shares outstanding. Visa and Mastercard have been reducing them by a little over 2%. Visa and Mastercard have a high profit margin and return on capital employed. Profit margins of 40% average over the last decade is amazing. Very few companies can accomplish this. Looking at the ROCE, this is the percentage the company gets in return for investing their money. So for every dollar, Visa brings 21 cents on average and Mastercard 48 cents. Mastercard brings more return due to their international expansion. Looking at the pie chart to the right, we can see the US purchase volume for the following companies: Visa, Mastercard, American Express, and Discover. Both Visa and Mastercard take a huge portion of the pie. Even if we look internationally, both companies seem to dominate. Now, we received the recent companies that Capital One, which is a card issuing company, is planning to buy Discover. This affects the market share and dominance that both Visa and Mastercard owns, since Capital One issues cards from both giants. This type of buys and transitions takes time. It doesn't mean they will lose market share immediately, but it poses a threat over time. Another hurdle that this acquisition must go through is that the government does not block this deal, which they already have an eye on since day one. You might be asking yourself, are you buying Visa and Mastercard at an all-time high? That's bad, right? Well, it depends. This graph shows the comparison of investing into the S&P 500 only at all-time highs versus average daily. In every period, we can observe that consistently investing daily beats buying at all-time high. To a certain extent, this is what I'm doing with Visa and Mastercard. I'm buying two amazing quality companies regardless of their price, and I cannot compare it versus 500 companies in the S&P or in the example of the graph, but both Visa and Mastercard are beating the market. I strongly believe both companies will continue to grow as they continue to expand internationally, increase their network effect, and their fundamentals continue to increase. If you keep in mind that Visa and Mastercard will be in the 1 trillion club in the future, today's value should look cheap. I will continue to buy and make both companies a core of my portfolio. Moving on to the companies that pay me a dividend during this month. We got Apple, $1.12, Texas Instruments, $7.80, AbbVie, $9.33, Colgate, $4.02, Clorox, $6.01, Stag Industrial, $1.50, Realty Income, $5.26, Procter & Gamble, $2.85, and Starbucks, $7.51, for a total amount of $45.40 in dividends. When we take a look at February dividends, we can see the snowball rolling in. I started investing in 2020, so no payments for February, but quickly we can see a different story for the other years. $5 in 2021, a little less than $21 in 2022, $38 in 2023, and $45 in 2024. Putting emphasis on the percentage increase from 2023 and 2024 compared to the other years, the increase seems to be starting to normalize. If I can maintain the increase between 10 to 20% year over year, the dividend received will compound at a steady rapid pace. Looking at my portfolio, currently valued $18,803 with a buying power of $163. This portfolio has a dividend yield of 3.06%, which translates to a projected annual dividend of $516.56. With the addition of Mastercard, this is composed of 23 holdings. Performance has been pretty slow. By appreciation, the portfolio is moving up slowly, but as I mentioned in previous episodes, this does not concern me. I invest in high quality businesses that are shareholder focused and continuously increase their dividends. So as long as the dividend continues to increase, the better. Eventually, those dividends will cover my expenses. I'm aiming for freedom, not to beat the market. Taking a look at my 24 holdings and their allocation, we can see a combination of fast-growing companies and blue-chip businesses. Hershey still remains my largest position with 13%, but I'm slowly shifting into buying higher return companies like Visa and Mastercard. The presence of Starbucks, Outweight, Digital Realty, and Texas Instruments within the portfolio remains notable, and overall, this portfolio is doing great. I'm still investing $130 per week into this portfolio and looking for ways to increase the contributions. On the other hand, there are some companies that I've wanted to reduce or completely sell, but I'll revisit my investing thesis on them to see if anything has changed. When they say that holding a great business for a long period of time lowers the chances of losing money, I say it is true. Most of the companies I was heavily down in the red are slowly climbing to profits. Now, the ones in the green continue to extend their dominance and allow the portfolio to climb to new highs. Personally, I'm impressed how the portfolio continues to grow, especially the dividend income beating the 500 yearly mark. Looking back, the portfolio was valued at less than $1,000. Now it's just $1,000 away from reaching $20,000. So I cannot stress enough to continue investing as often and early as possible, because that invested money grows in the background while you focus on improving other aspects of your life. So that will be it for this episode. If you made it until this part, thank you so much. Remember to like, subscribe, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one.